This is Korea News for February 23, 2022. As the Omicron pandemic accelerated, the number of new COVID-19 cases soared to 170,000 on the 23rd. The Central Defense Response Headquarters announced that as of midnight on the same day, the number of new confirmed cases increased by 171,452 to a cumulative total of 2,329,182. The quarantine authorities diagnosed that the spread of the Omicron mutant virus in Korea is at an early stage when Corona-19 is established as an endemic disease. In a regular briefing on the 22nd, the Central Accident Management Headquarters said, "Now, while continuing to check the risk level of Omicron, it is in the initial stage of transition to an endemic management system." At a meeting with the Seoul Foreign Correspondents Club on the same day, the Prime Minister said, "We are seeing signs of an endemic from many countries ahead of us," he said. According to the quarantine authorities, the transmission power of the Omicron mutation is faster than the Delta mutation, but the fatality rate and severity rate are only 0.18% and 0.38%, respectively. Omicron's fatality rate has dropped to about twice that of the seasonal flu. In particular, the fatality rate is close to 0% for people under the age of 50 who have completed vaccination. The government believes that the current 6-person social distancing and restaurant cafe business hours are at 10 p.m. after the Omicron mutation has passed its peak. The Central Accident Control Headquarters said, after the peak of the epidemic, whether there is a change in the trend of decline, the trend of symptomatic and fatalities, and the capacity of the medical system should be comprehensively evaluated to begin planning for daily recovery. In this process, he said, of course, the reduction or adjustment of the quarantine pass will be considered. Meanwhile, an additional 40,000 doses of Pfizer's oral drug Paxlovid will arrive at the end of this month. Even after being diagnosed with COVID-19, there are people who are trying to avoid the diagnostic test itself, as most of them are not provided with any other medical services other than home isolation. Although there is no support from the quarantine authorities, they are trying to postpone the test because there are many daily restrictions following the confirmation. Experts point out that the actual number of infected people may be much higher than the official count, and a plan is needed to manage hidden infections. The Ministry of Food and Drug Safety, MFDS, approved a COVID-19 vaccine developed by Pfizer on the 23rd for children aged 5 to 11 years old. This vaccine should be administered twice at an interval of 3 weeks, and the third dose can be given 4 weeks after the second dose for severely immunocompromised children. On the 23rd, poll results showed that Democratic Party presidential candidate Lee Jae-myung and People's Strength candidate Yoon Seok-yeol were engaged in a close battle within the margin of error in the presidential candidate support survey. As a result of a survey conducted by Korea Information Research on a virtual multilateral battle of 1,002 adults nationwide on the 21st of the 21st, candidates Lee Jae-myung and Yoon Seok-yeol showed 39.5% and 44.0%, respectively. Candidate Jae-myung Lee rose 0.1 percentage point from the previous week, while candidate Seok-yeol Yoon fell 0.3 percentage point. Democratic Party presidential candidate Lee Jae-myung said on the 23rd that People's Strength candidate Yoon Seok-yeol was implicated in the development of a new town in Daejang-dong, Seongnam-si, saying, he claimed that this case was the Yoon Seok-yeol gate. Candidate Jae-myung Lee appeared on MBC Radio this morning and said, "I was 100% sure that Yoon Seok-yeol was the prosecutor's gate, and Yoon Seok-yeol was the body." Democratic Party presidential candidate Lee Jae-myung explained that his wife Kim Hye-kyung's allegation of illegal use of corporate cards was a problem with the employee's corporate card procedures. Candidate Jae-myung Lee in an interview on the morning of the 22nd emphasized, "It is not that my wife used a corporate card, but that the employees had a problem with the corporate card procedure." Added. He continued, "It's exaggerated to act as if my wife used a corporate card, but I apologize again because it was my negligence and poor management that caused the controversy," he said. Meanwhile, his wife Kim, who is suspected of using the corporate card for personal purposes during Lee Jae-myung's days as governor of Gyeonggi-do, held a press conference on the 9th and apologized for her relationship with her assistant B, saying, "It's a long-term relationship, so I sometimes got a lot of help." However, candidate Lee Jae-myung has not revealed his position on illegal acts in which his wife Kim gave personal instructions to a provincial government official, such as delivering 10 servings of sushi, cleaning the refrigerator, and cleaning the closet. As the debate on unification of the opposition between presidential candidate Yoon Seok-yeol and the People's Party candidate Daejang-dong enters a state of disintegration, voices are coming out to point out the responsibility of the People's Power Party leader Lee Jae-myung. It is known that Professor Kim Mi-kyung, the wife of candidate Daejang-dong, who was hospitalized with Corona-19 at the time, also expressed strong displeasure at Lee Jae-myung's remarks. An official from the People's Party said, "It is true that Lee Jae-myung, the leader of the People's Power's mention of maintaining the deceased became a decisive moment for candidate Daejang-dong to withdraw the proposal for unification." On the 22nd, presidential candidate Ha Kyung-young of the National Revolutionary Party said, "When my approval rating exceeded 5%, the media suddenly excluded Ha Kyung-young and said that there was no public opinion poll. He even claimed to have achieved it." Candidate Ha Kyung-young said at the debate on the 20th presidential election uninvited candidates hosted by the National Election Commission held at MBC on the same day, "MBC has not reported me once for the past few months, and I put it in today's small candidate debate." He complained that he was ashamed to come out as he said, most of the time except for the announcement of the candidate's promises was devoted to dissatisfaction. At the end of last year, the approval rating exceeded 5% and he was eligible to participate in the debates of major candidates, but the idea is that the media and the National Election Commission excluded him from the opinion polls, thereby reducing public attention. Candidate Ha Kyung-young burst into anger as soon as the TV debate started. In all of his remarks, he said, "I already reached 5.7% 2 months ago when I was a presidential candidate, and I am a person who has been up and down in the media with a three-way scheme. Did not do it." It was argued that this was the tyranny of the Central Election Commission. LG Electronics announced on the 23rd that it has decided to end its solar business at the end of June. "It has been 12 years since we started the solar panel business in 2010. Following the withdrawal of the smartphone business last year, the company is continuing to adjust its business portfolio." Regarding the withdrawal of the solar power business, LG Electronics said, "We have been continuously reviewing the direction of the solar panel business, and the board of directors decided to terminate the business on the 22nd. It said that it was intended to focus on key future industries." LG Electronics' solar panel business has been handled by the BS Business Headquarters in charge of business-to-business, B2B, transactions. An LG official said, "Since 2010, we have been focusing on high-efficiency photovoltaic modules such as N-type and double-sided modules, but the business environment continues to deteriorate, such as increasing sales of low-priced products, intensifying price competition, and rising prices of raw materials such as polysilicon," said he had come. For the past several years, the global market share of LG Electronics solar panels has stayed at around 1%. The business has been stagnant, with sales falling from 1.1 trillion won in 2019 to 800 billion won in 2020. Although LG Electronics is withdrawing from the business, it said that it plans to produce solar panels by the second quarter in consideration of the required quantity such as after-sales service. About 900 employees of the Energy Business Department, including 600 domestic workers who have been in charge of the solar panel business, are planning to relocate. LG said, "The relocation will be carried out by considering the capabilities and intentions of employees first, but comprehensively judging the human resources demand of other business divisions and LG affiliates." LG Electronics announced that it will accelerate the advancement of its business portfolio with the termination of this business. The BS Business Division decided to focus on IT, monitor, laptop, etc., ID, signage, commercial TV, etc., and robot businesses. In addition, it said that it plans to continuously review and foster new businesses through in-house ventures and mergers and acquisitions. Eileen, a female freestyle skier who represented China at the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing, will return to the United States. Born to an American father and Chinese mother, Eileen was of American nationality, but she acquired Chinese citizenship in 2019, and while she played for the Chinese national team, she won 2 gold and 1 silver medal at the Olympics for China. Hugged. Eileen, who she played for the Chinese national team in this Olympics, earned over 40 billion won as she was a Chinese youngin. During her Olympics, he signed advertising deals with 24 brands including Louis Vuitton and Tiffany & Co. According to local media, she earned about 119 billion won from the Olympics alone, including the income she earned from winning her Olympic medals. When Eileen revealed her plans to return to the United States, Chinese netizens downplayed him. On social media such as Weibo, Chinese netizens harshly criticized Eileen, saying, "She made a lot of money in China and left for the United States." Thank you for watching today. Please like and subscribe.